All right, so I got a reaction coming at y'all real quick, man. I wanted to go over this. I've been seeing this floating around on social media for a little minute now, and nobody's really touched on different aspects like what bothered me about it. So let's get into it.
A couple days ago, Psychology Today released this article about the rise of lonely single men.
Please, with all your spirit gusto, go click back on that video. I've been telling y'all motherfuckers that y'all are going to be single for the rest of your fucking life if you do not increase your emotional communication skills, emotional intelligence, or any of these things. The Psychology Today article that my good sis is referencing is nothing but proof that these podcast alpha male bullshit ass father issue heaven ass motherfuckers is forcing y'all to a lifetime of singleness. I keep seeing on this bullshit ass app that women have these poor attitudes and all this other bullshit when men truly just need to extend their emotional vocabulary so they can flourish and have meaningful, healthy relationships. But instead, y'all listening to these Kevin Samuel ass motherfuckers and it's leaving you 50 and alone. Fix it.
Now, I wanted to get the first one because I wanted to give the context on the next one. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to notice too, in her reaction to that article, she made it out to be that men don't have the emotional terminology or vocabulary to have successful relationships with women. Pay attention to that. Let's get another one.
Well, hello. It's your friendly neighborhood therapist who thought she could save these hoes, but got her job terminated as a result. Story time? I think yes. Shit you not, I posted a video on Monday telling men that their dusty behavior is only harming them and that they would benefit from emotional intelligence, and I shit you not, by Friday, didn't have employment. All of this started with the Psychology Today article stating that men are lonelier than ever because they have no fucking emotional skills.
And this is crazy because when you go back and read that article, that's not what it was talking about. That's not what it was talking about. When you go back and read the article, that's like, it really show you how some people interpret information. It's weird. It's really weird because when you actually pull the information out of the article, it was an opinion piece. It was what a man feel like is the climate of today, which is weird. How do you take an opinion piece with everybody claim, like, you know what I'm saying? They talk about these podcast brothers. What's the difference from a nigga giving his opinion on a podcast and a nigga writing his opinion down? Very interesting from a clinician, as she would say.
Agreed and doubled down and told y'all that y'all lives would radically improve if you expanded the shit that came out your mouth. But instead of healing, y'all will do anything but that. Instead of being accountable, like, hey, this bitch see me, and stirred a little bit, y'all got so hurt that you contacted Massa. That's exactly what happened.
That right there kind of blew me because that's not even the stance most men would take. Most men is not finna try to find out what the fuck you work at. Why would I do that? This is what blows me, for real. She know black men didn't do that to her. Even though she got online talking crazy, she know black men did not get her fired. She know that. But me, if I had, let's just say I own an office where you work at my office and you counsel a lot of black men. If I came across your post, because it went viral, if I came across your post and this is how you're speaking about your clients, why in the fuck would I have you work at my fucking office? Why? So instead of being able to look at the situation as a clinician, as a therapist, to look at your own actions, how can you look at somebody else, right, and tell them what they need to do in their life when you clearly can't do that shit in your own?
So first the post goes viral on Twitter because y'all need fucking help and y'all wanted to argue with bitches blue till they fucking blue in the face. Some of you hoes is not gonna be saved. And that's the conclusion that I've come to. So because this shit's going viral, I'm thinking, okay, cool, we starting a discussion on mental health, and people are, you might not like my fucking delivery, but motherfuckers is starting to talk, you know?
Which is kind of crazy because the main reason people didn't like Kevin Samuels was because of how he spoke, which he spoke a lot like a man. So you, in turn, feel like it's cool to speak in a demeaning way. This is the thing that I love about women. They gonna tell on themselves all the time. They tell on themselves all the time. The number one way to make people follow you and believe what you're talking about is for you to do what you want other people to do. I would not ask you to do some shit that I'm not doing. So in turn, you talking about this emotional vocabulary. You talking about some emotional intelligence. You as a clinician didn't feel the need to do better than what you're doing on right here. But you saying it was black men that got you fired. No, you got you fired. Because you don't know how to talk. You went got all this white man schooling for you not to know how to fucking talk. That's weird. But you want to say the black man went and called Massa. Really?
Tables on the fuck. But then it turns into this entire crusade of attacking a black woman who serves the fucking black community. There were comments like, I'm gonna find her credentials and report her because I told y'all to be better. Yeah, y'all are fucking weird. Y'all scream that y'all want to protect women, protect black women specifically, but have done nothing to protect this black woman who has been serving the communities. I have been violated in several areas, and I'm gonna outline each one. This article was written by a fucking black woman, putting my full government and my place of employment. So being doxxed by a black woman can't fake, kinda fucking hurts, and she never once reached out to me or contacted me so I could spin my side of the story.
Boom. Boom, there it is. It wasn't no fucking black man that went and got her like that. But even in that, a black woman saw that there was some bullshit. It wasn't no black man that went and did that. Black men are not finna search you to find where you work at. That's what women do. I wanna get a couple verses right quick though, because it's weird that these women like they'll call themselves therapists. That shit crazy as fuck. That shit crazy. That's weird as hell. This is Ecclesiasticus, also called Sirach, chapter 37 and verse 7. Every counselor extolleth counsel, but there is some that counseleth for himself. Some counselors get into that because they feel like they're doing something good. It's not about you getting better as a person. It's about making them feel better because they feel like they're helping you. It ain't about the information being right. It ain't about them giving you right counsel. It's about I can say that I'm doing something when it's bullshit. Verse 8, beware of a counselor and know before what need he hath, for he will counsel for himself, lest he cast the lot upon thee. So why did I get this? Because when you listen to her speak, she's not speaking from an area of trying to help. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. And I tell brothers all the time, if you're going to get a therapist, go to a man. Go to a man. You got to really think about it. Our sisters have been indoctrinated in feminism. They don't see the black community. They don't see the black community as it actually is. They see it from the teachings that they receive. They see it from an aspect that everything men do is bad and everything women do is right. I'm telling you. So in a situation, just listening to how she even came onto the post, you speaking from an area that black men don't have emotional intelligence. You came from an aspect that black men don't have the emotional vocabulary. Well, hold on, sis. In my own personal life, throughout the years, most men that I've encountered have more emotional intelligence. Most men that I've encountered, they have came in contact with women that when I did talk to her about my issues, when I did tell her about some of the intimate details about my life, those things was used against me later on. So, do men not have the emotional vocabulary and intelligence? Or is it that they say, hold up, that shit don't work, I'm gonna do something else? Because the definition of insanity is doing the same shit and getting and think you're gonna get a different result. Come on now, sis. Some counselors counsel for themselves. Some counselors, they doing it for how can I put it? They got ulterior motives. It is what it is. Let's get some more. Because the men supposed to be the counselors. That's what I'm telling y'all. And that's why I try to tell the brothers. You can't just be a regular black man. You got to start building yourself up. You got to start building yourself up as a man, because you got to be able to help your brothers in these type of situations. Because that same rhetoric that she trying to tell you, right? I can go right in the Bible and tell you the instruction was always have your tongue seasoned with salt, that you know how to answer every man. You got to learn how to talk to people. That's what I would tell the brothers. So you got to know how to pick and choose how you speak to different people. What that take? That take you listening. That take you being aware of your surroundings. That mean actually being in tune with the people that you speaking to know, okay, she can talk. She gotta be talked to a little nicer than that. She gotta talk to a little soft. Okay, this brother that I'm speaking to, he kind of sensitive. I need to speak to him like this, but I also need to build him up because I can't always coddle him. This is Proverbs chapter 19, verse 20. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. Because a lot of times, when you're talking to men and women, when you give them the counsel, they don't want that shit. Especially, let's just be real. In the black community, when you give them counsel that don't lead with the other person being wrong, they try to act like you don't know what the fuck you talking about. You the problem, my nigga. So if I heard your situation from both sides, I can tell both of y'all what the fuck both of y'all doing wrong. Why do I have to not know what the fuck I'm talking about? Because you wasn't placed in the right. Both of y'all was wrong. I'm gonna read it again. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. Because a lot of people, they ignore the counsel, but then on the back end, they still bitching and complaining about the same thing that they got counsel for in the first place. 9 times out of 10, you probably gonna die. It is what it is. It is what it is. You don't want the counsel, don't come to me. Because I'm gonna tell you what everybody doing wrong. Why would I just tell you that you right just because? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna tell you what you need to fix. What'll make your situation go a lot better. But at the same time, in those intimate situations, I talk a lot different. So if I'm telling you something and I see, and let's be real, all my counsel gonna come from the Bible. If I'm giving you advice, everything that I'm saying, I can go in the Bible and find it. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 21, verse 13. The knowledge of a wise man shall abound like a flood, and his counsel is like a pure fountain of life. Pay attention. The men are supposed to be the counselors. That's the problem in the black community. A lot of men are not trying to give young men advice. I have no issue. If you need something if you got to talk, hit me up, man. If you got small little things you need to talk about, call me, bro. DM me. Text me. It don't matter. If you need to talk, bro, hit me. I'm going to read it again. The knowledge of a wise man shall abound like a flood, and his wise counsel is like a pure fountain of life. Because a wise man going to give you counsel according to the scriptures. A wise man gonna give you counsel that he knows works. A wise man ain't gonna just give you some counsel like the sister was saying, that the men need to elevate their emotional intelligence and vocabulary. Sis, that is not the problem in the black community amongst men and women. Let's keep it a stack. That is not the problem. That is not the problem. The problem in the black community is prostitution and unrealistic expectations. Let's keep it a stack. Let's keep it a stack. That's the problem in the black community. Our people want to move and act like whores and whoremongers, and they're unrealistic in their expectations. They don't understand life. It's not about emotional intelligence and vocabulary. Because let's be honest, when you talk about emotional intelligence and vocabulary, they want you to move and act like a woman. You're not speaking from how should a man move in this situation. You coming at it from your teacher in college, which in most cases is very detrimental to black people, very detrimental to black men in particular. Let's keep it a stack. Go to these men that know what they talking about. And don't try to sidestep it because you know that they're going to call you out on your bullshit too. When you need advice on a situation, obviously, if you're doing something wrong in the situation that's making it go left, I need to correct you on that. Once you correct that, you might get a better result. But if you're still having a problem, we can deal with it in another area. Most dudes don't want to do that, though. Let's get some more. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 44 and verse 1. Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begot us. The Lord hath wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning. Such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding and declaring prophecies. Because our forefathers was amazing counselors. When you read throughout the Bible, they gave us great counsel. And their counsel still stand to this day. They famous. Everybody damn near on the planet got the records of our forefathers in their house. Our forefathers' counsel is in everybody's house. Why? Because they understood how much wisdom was in it. We don't look at it like that. But we gotta get back into that mindset as men. We got to go back to them times. It's our time to do that. We got to be there for our brothers. We got to be there for our families and our nation. We got to look at ourselves like that. He said, let us now praise famous men. That's supposed to be us now. That's supposed to be us. We can't sit back and always rely on other people to do what we need to do. We got to be the men that rise up and be the counselors for our young men, for our young sisters. Period. We got to do that. Jumping to verse 4. Leaders of the people by their counsels and by their knowledge of learning meet for the people. Because they went and got the knowledge. They went out and learned things that was right for the people. Don't get into these bags where you're going to Esau schools and they teaching you a curriculum on what they feel like you should be learning or how things should go. But they actually don't work for your race. It don't. Wise and eloquent are their instructions, because in most situations, according to the Bible, I have to give you some type of instruction. I need to give you some type of way that you should be moving outside of me just telling you something vague. You telling me that I need to increase my emotional intelligence and emotional vocabulary is not helping me in my day-to-day life. It's not. It's not. So if you're in a bag where you want to help people, give them clear-cut instruction. I tell people this all the time. The rhetoric that she tried to give y'all is in the Bible. It's in the Bible. But it go both ways, sis. That's what you don't understand. So instead of you just picking at the black man, because it was clear. When you broke all that shit down, it was a black woman that wanted you done. It was a black woman that had a problem with what you was saying. Yeah, a black man might say some shit in the comments. They're not finna go look up your job. So you pointing at the black man like he the problem. When sis, you the problem. You are part of the problem. You displayed the same demeanor and characteristics that the black men been complaining about for years. For years. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Y'all men need to start back learning and building yourselves up, because if you can't give these young men counsel and advice, they could be going to women like her getting their ass destroyed. And we wonder why our men look the way they look, because they going to women for advice. Because a lot of you men don't want to do the work to be able to give these young men advice. It is what it is. So what happens when you go to a counselor who counseling for herself? What happens when you go to a counselor who counseling for black women? These are the results that you get. You can clearly hear she has a disdain for black men. It is what it is. You feel like black men are the problem. No, sis. Both men and women in the black community need help. Both men and women in the black community need help. Both men and women in the black community got things that they need to work on, they need to fix. But if you only coming at it from one from one angle, it ain't gonna work out, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I'm out.